Hi, I'm Kylie, and here are the top 3 things that white supremacists have confessed to me in my DMs. I have no idea why, but conservatives have started flocking to my DMs in hordes, confessing all of their insecurities to me. So here are the top 3. Number 1, nearly all of them have expressed anger and frustration that white women have stopped liking white men as much. According to them, there is no longer a preference that white women have for white men because of integration. And they're deeply upset by this fact because they believe that that advantage is the only way that they were able to get women. Number 2, most of them have confessed to me that they have a micro, and they have stated that this is one of the reasons that they are so insecure and mean to people. Specifically why they hate black men so much because of their perceived larger size. And confession number 3, most of them have said they have an inability to satisfy women, which leads to heightened feelings of insecurity and jealousy when seeing their wives or girlfriends with other men. And also it's the reason why a lot of them have fetishes for being a cuck. My DMs are not open to these types of messages. Do not send me these types of messages. And just know that if you do, I will be making... Hi, I'm Kylie, and here are the top 3 things that white supremacists have confessed to me in my DMs. I have no idea why, but conservatives have started flocking to my DMs in hordes, confessing all of their insecurities to me. So here are the top 3. Number 1, nearly all of them have expressed anger and frustration that white women have stopped liking white men as much. According to them, there is no longer a preference that white women have for white men because of integration. And they're deeply upset by this fact because they believe that that advantage is the only way that they were able to get women. Number 2, most of them have confessed to me that they have a micro, and they have stated that this is one of the reasons that they are so insecure and mean to people. Specifically why they hate black men so much because of their perceived larger size. And confession number 3, most of them have said they have an inability to satisfy women, which leads to heightened feelings of insecurity and jealousy when seeing their wives or girlfriends with other men. And also it's the reason why a lot of them have fetishes for being a cuck. My DMs are not open to these types of messages. Do not send me these types of messages. And just know that if you do, I will be making...
Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to my fellow laborers, and shalom to the saints. And this is going to be a quick one. And like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, the first sign of a kingdom on the decline is that the women of that kingdom start desiring men outside of that kingdom more than they desire the men of their own kingdom. Because we know that women generally are hypergamous, and so they naturally will gravitate towards whoever they perceive as having more power in the present and in the future. You know, their loyalty is not fixed, it is variable. Okay, that's just how the Heavenly Father set this up and how He made the woman, all right, to seek refuge in whoever can protect and provide for her the best based on her perception. So she is keenly aware of shifts in power, shifts in status, shifts in dominance before anyone else is. Because her survival and the survival of any offspring that she might have literally depends on aligning herself with the most powerful men. So much for that strong, independent woman trope. When you raise tilapia, whether you raise the gray tilapia from the River Nile or you raise the red tilapia from Mozambique, you know, you come to find out that the gray tilapia are a lot more sensitive to low oxygen levels in your pool. So when oxygen levels are low in the pool, you will often see the gray tilapia at the top of the pool kind of gasping for breath. Whereas the red tilapia, they are more sensitive to low oxygen levels, but the gray ones provide an early indication of low oxygen in your pool by coming up to the top of the surface, while the red ones stay down near the bottom. So if you're raising tilapia and you prefer the red ones, it makes sense to also put a few gray ones in the same pool, just so you have a canary in the coal mine, so to speak. And right now, the canary in the coal mine, signifying the impending destruction of Edom, are the so-called white women. Alright, so the so-called white man is going to be the new nigger. Okay? He's going to be the new nigger. And he's not going to like it. Because imagine, in our low estate, talking about the so-called black man, in our low estate, women of all the other races are desiring us. What about when the Most High raises us up to that standard? What's going to happen then? Isaiah 4:1 is going to happen. That's what. And notice that women worldwide are not flocking and signing up and lining up for the so-called Chinese man, the Moabite. Because in some circles, people think that China is going to be the next dominating superpower. But that's not going to happen, man. The Israelites got next. And the women can smell it. Except for our own women, of course. Because they've been trained to hate their own men. You know? So they will be the last to know. But the so-called white women, they can smell it. Like the elder apostle Tahar always says, the first sign of a nation in decline is the attention of the women being put on men outside of their own nation. Because this micro penis situation is not anything new. Women will endure a small penis, especially now when they have all kinds of electronic devices to fill up their space, as it were. Women's first needs are to feel safe and to have access to resources. So, you know, that's why Jim Crow was a thing, man, because even after the so-called slaves were freed, so-called blacks have never been allowed to have their own towns, their own banks, their own institutions. You know, it's because of the fear of not only their women leaving them, but you got to remember that these people are genetically recessive. And Dr. Francis Cress Welsing brought out that book years ago called The ISIS Papers that goes into the number one fear of the so-called white race is genetic annihilation. Because, first of all, they are fewer than any people, right? They're the least of the flock. And they are genetically recessive. So if you give their women options to choose men, and they're not choosing their own men, then that just spells, you know, extinction for the race. And don't for a second think that these people are not aware of what's going on. That's why you have all those militia groups in America and other places getting ready to go hunting for Negroes. There's such a thing as Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7. Revelation 12:12 says that the devil is going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he hath but a short time. So you're going to see the true face of these people when their backs are against the wall. And all you women who, of our own people, who love the damn devil, you know, you're going to be thrust through right along with them. Isaiah 13 from verse 13 on down speaks about the day of the fierce anger of the Most High, where every man is going to turn back to his own people. And every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Joined unto who? Joined unto the devil, the beast, the man of sin, the son of perdition, the new niggas, aka the pink people. Because they're gonna turn against you. Alright? Don't say we never did warn you. So what happens when you take away the economic and social advantages of the different races? You find that those who think they are superior are not so superior after all. And they're not gonna go down without a fight. Okay? So the so-called white people are going to be the new niggers. And they're not gonna like it. And the women can smell it. They can sense that a shift is happening. And they have identified the future rulers of the planet Earth. You so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American men. And so they're shifting their allegiance. Ain't nothing hard about that. That's biology, man. Psychology. That's just survival. Can't blame her because she has to follow her feelings, right? Her female intuition. You check it out. She needs to feel safe. See how that works? So so-called white women are ahead of the curve in their sensitivity to understand what is going on. You even got some of them coaching and offering lessons on how to secure a high value, high status so-called black man. Trying to position themselves to be in the vicinity and under the leadership of our elite men, as far as the world is concerned. Of course, because the women are smart enough to understand that the elect men of the nation of Israel are going to be the true high value men. You know, because it does not yet appear what we shall be. This is 1 John 3 from the top. It says, "Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is." You check that out? So when it is truly revealed that these so-called black men that folks have been looking down upon and, thinking that we are less than nothing, when it's revealed who we really are, pursuant to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, these women are gonna have an attitude adjustment immediately, man. And it's gonna be quite remarkable to see how quickly they can learn how to behave. You check it out? But women worldwide have already felt the shift, especially so-called white women. They have already felt the shift of power waning from one group of people to another. Except for our own women, of course, because they've been trained to hate their own men, So they will be the last to know. Alright? Like the elder apostle Tahar always says, the first sign of a nation in decline is the attention of the women being put on men outside of their own nation. So all the prophecies that are yet to be fulfilled regarding the nation of Esau, Edom, are going to be fulfilled, okay? And there's nothing anyone can do about it. This is Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Who are the saints of the Most High? This is Psalms 148:14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Most High, Yahawah, sham, Yahawashi. So we got next. This is Sirach 10 verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And America fits that bill perfectly. Their unrighteous dealings, their injuries, all the riches they got by deceit. You know, they're on their last legs. Can't you see that? The white women do. How about that? Revelation 13, 9 and 10 says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. So Israelites, starting with 144,000 men, the elect of the nation of Israel, and the other men, women, and children that shall be delivered in these last days, we got next. Shalom.